Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I am very pleased to have your attention and to have your time. So, as you have heard, I'm going to talk about Apex and using Apex in real life cases. So, today I'm going to talk about two success stories while developing in Apex. But first, I'm just going to shortly introduce myself. So, as you have already heard, I work for the company called Bilog, based in Zagreb. I'm a software consultant, which means that I'm alongside with consulting. I do development, mentoring students, developer training, and so on. So I have been working with Apex for the last 12 years, since some very early versions, some versions that perhaps you haven't even seen. And before I started to work in Bilog, I also worked as a school teacher, and I always like to work with classrooms. So I'm very pleased to be here. As far as I know, you are interested in how Apex is really used and how companies come to decisions to spend their resources on using Apex. So I would like to share two stories on this. One story is where Apex was just starting to be used, where Apex was introduced. And the another story is from 2 months ago, it's really new, where Apex was used to build a fully functional application really fast within given deadlines and time limits. So the first story actually goes quite a long time ago in IT terms. It was 10 years ago in an insurance company based in Zagreb. Most of the application development was done in Oracle forms. So the Oracle database is basically the standard in many companies, especially in corporate IT and big systems. And atop of the Oracle database, Oracle Forms was a tool which was used very, very long time, but it was starting to be de-supported, and the new technology was needed to replace it. So this insurance company where I was working as a consultant and as a development for decided that they should start using Apex, but none of their developers didn't even see Apex or didn't know how to use it. It was Apex version 4.2. If you know, today Apex version is 22.1, so you can see the difference here. And the decision was that the first application made in Apex shouldn't be very complex, but it should be, of course, useful, and it should be attractive to end users, so that the end users have the easy usage of this application, but also the in-house developers of this insurance company should learn to use this new technology, because all future development was needed to be done in Apex. So the shift was to abandon the old technology and to adopt the new technology. Uh, I'm not sure how much of the insurance terminology you perhaps know of, but I will try to keep it as simple as possible without any unneeded details. All insurance companies have clients. I'm sure that you understand that. And for a single client, an insurance company keeps a lot of data in their system. In the old system, which was being used then, data about clients was found in the multiple parts of the system, so it wasn't centralized. So if you wanted to see data about one specific client, you needed to go into different parts of the system and then to gather this data and do some analysis by yourself. The idea was to produce an Apex application which would provide a central point to access all the data about clients, and it should be simple. It should be informative, so to provide any meaningful information to the users as soon as they select some specific client. So the requirements and the requirement phase for this application was pretty clear. The insurance company knew what they needed. So we decided that we are going to go with Apex and with the standard user interface of Apex, which is web enabled and was already then much more better looking than Oracle Forms. I don't know if you ever saw Oracle Forms, but it's a quite dull and boring gray Windows like application, which was standard pretty long time ago. So I was working alongside with the developers in this company, and their goal was to learn something new and to develop this new application. And we had a pretty short deadline of about 2 months to give something which was already ready for use. The goal of the application was, as I said, these two goals. So to learn new things and to give additional value to end users was met. So end users were very happy with the new application because they got something new. They got something that looked much better than the things that they used before. And they got something useful. So they could simply go into our new application. They could select the client, and immediately they could see how many policies this client has perhaps bought in this insurance company, how many damages perhaps has he had paid out. They could see if these clients pay regularly. They could see if these clients perhaps pay late their bills. And so on. So this application was actually used for business decisions and customer management later. And so it was in 2012. Today is 2022. So 10 years later, the same application is still being used in this insurance company. But also the main thing is that Apex became the main development tool for them, and it is still being used today. And almost the entire core system that they had built before in Oracle Forms, they transitioned it to Oracle Apex, and they are still using it. So I believe that the main goal there was accomplished, because Apex provided additional business value to the company, but also provided their developers with new knowledge and help them become more competitive in the work environment. So that was a story from the beginning of the Apex adoption, because 10 years ago, not a lot of companies knew about it, and not a lot of companies were using it. I was lucky enough to start working in a company where Apex was the main technology from the start, and I'm still learning every day, and I love using this tool. So I believe it has a great future, as it has proven up until now. Apart from this story, which was at the adoption phase of Apex, I have another story which is quite fresh, 2 months ago. It is also from the insurance sector, but from a different company and from a different business case. So why are these two examples from the insurance sector? Well, because I mostly work with the companies in the insurance sector, so I could tell you a lot of stories about that. But the story that I want to point out next is how Apex can be used with experienced developers. So in limited time, you can develop and you can deploy fully functional applications without sacrificing much of your resources. So the case was that this new insurance company was started to work in Zagreb, and they didn't even have a core information system. They were so small that they could do their work using Microsoft Office and some application which wasn't even specific to them. Uh, they had such a situation that they projected that they will grow and that their business couldn't function without a specific information system which was developed specifically for them. This is where we came in. So Bilog as a company was chosen to develop an entirely new information system from the ground up. And of course, the technologies of choice were Oracle database for the data storage and the Oracle Apex for the front end user interface. So as it always is, resources are always limited. In any project, you don't you don't get unlimited resources. You have a specific number of developers, you have a specific deadline, and you have a specific scope of the project which must be done up until that deadline. The insurance determined which application modules were critical, which had to be done up until the deadline, and which application modules could wait a bit so they could be developed later on because they weren't perhaps used as much, or the employees of the insurance could work with them the way they did before. And everything was going great, but there was one module which was determined not to be critical, which was later decided that they cannot do without it. So the situation here was that the deadline remained the same, the resources remained the same, but the scope and of the development grew because they wanted just to develop more software under the same resources. So this module was concerning claims in insurance. So a claim in insurance, just a short explanation, is an event when you have an insurance policy, for example, for your house, and some storm occurs and you have some damage on your house. Then you go to your insurance company and you make a claim. So when you make a claim, you expect that the insurance company pays some damages to you. This sounds perhaps simple, described in such manner, but when such claim occurs in an insurance company, they have to spend a lot of time and resources to analyze it and to determine what they should pay out to you, and do you even have the base or the coverage to get this payout. And why it's important to the insurance companies? Well, their business is based on selling insurance policies, so they are based on getting money from you. But when you make a claim, they should make a payout, so it's actually a loss to them. And these claims are then um, quite important because it's a direct loss of money to the insurance companies, and they said they couldn't do it anymore with Excel and I don't know, some other applications, that they need to have a claim module in their application as soon as possible. So what we did here is we provided two senior Apex developers, myself and a colleague from Bilog, and we got one developer from that insurance company. They have a small IT department who was a source of business information and who explained the business processes to us and the user requirements and what they actually expect from these applications. So of course, the first phase in any development is to gather the requirements, then to make the database design, to model the business processes, and finally to develop the solution. We had a very short term to do this. We had only 2 months. So we actually, when we went to the meeting where they proposed that we should do this, it was already late to be started, but we didn't even know it should be started. So we had to work we had to work a bit faster and smarter, and that's why we decided we are going to go with a team with not many people, but with people who are experienced. This module wasn't so simple to develop because it has the effect on the entire system of the insurance company, because when someone is being paid out, a lot of other systems are being touched, as the accounting, payouts, and financial reporting and so on, because it's about the money flow. So that part was done by their in-house developers, and front-end part was done by Bilog. And quite quickly we managed to produce an application, because we took the latest version of Apex, which was already then 21.2, which has quite nice themes and user interface elements. And we actually didn't have to do much of the design of the application. We took the components that Apex has given us, and we just listened to the user and what the user needed. And step by step, we built the application with the approach where as soon as we built some little thing, we immediately gave it to the users so they could test it. So we could have the feedback quite quickly and do some fixes if those fixes or changes were needed. So a long story short, we managed to secure the deadline. The insurance company got their new module where it wasn't even planned in the first place, so they were happy with the situation that their information system actually supported all their main business functions, and we were happy to provide this. We were happy to provide this knowledge and to give some additional value to their business. So the thing here was also that Apex has given us the flexibility to use quite a short time with experienced developers to produce something which would in normal conditions take much longer to realize. So from these two stories, the main thing to take out here is that Apex is already being used a lot, and historically it has only grown, and it is still growing. Two new versions of Apex are being released each year, and Apex developers are in very high demand, and locally and globally. These days, actually, it doesn't really matter if you work from home or if you work from the office or any point on this earth. So the physical location isn't really important, but your knowledge is very important. And Apex developers are very rare to find on the job market. And to learn Apex in the university and to have such a knowledge when you finish your studies, I think it's a very valuable thing to have, because such developers are very desirable for employers to have. So these are the things that I wanted to point out about Apex and about some real life situations and usage. And now I would like to ask if there are some questions from your side or some comments which you would like to make.
Of course, we have questions. I will take opportunity because I also I'm professor of quality and information system. Regarding to that project in the insurance company, what was the time scale of transition? Was that measured in months or years? How long did this migration from forms to Apex took? actually?
Well, the time frame was actually in years. So they didn't say, okay, we have to take the old system and throw it in the trash, and we have to start to use new system
Okay.
tomorrow. They had this approach where they said, okay, now we are doing this module and we are transitioning it to Apex, and then this module was turned off in the old application, so it could be used only in Apex. And when that was done, then they took the next module and the next and the next. So it was done actually in phases. And I believe that the entire transition was in a time frame of about 4 to 5 years, I believe, because it is quite a big system.
And what about developers? I mean, in-house developers. You said
Okay.
they were used to make applications in forms.
Yeah.
Their transition also took so long. Oh,
Well, actually, yes, because in my experience, I don't believe this is the case only with Oracle, but with any technologies. When you learn some technology and you work some time with it, it's perhaps a bit difficult to transition to something new. So they learned it, but one thing that they had difficulty with is you have to adopt a new way of thinking when you start to use a new tool. They try to use the old way of thinking, the way they done things before with Apex, and it wasn't a really good combination. But as time moved on, and as much more projects were done, it was getting better and better. But there was also one downside when these developers learned Apex very well. Some from time to time it happened that they went to work for different companies where they would pay where they would pay it better.
okay.
So so there was a bit of a brain drain going on.
Okay. And just one thing more. As a developer, I know that you will say Apex can do anything whatever you've seen on internet. But do you face over expectations of the users? And how do you deal that over expectations as a consultant?
Well, it happens, of course, it happens. And the thing you said, Apex really can do anything you see on the web, but there is always a but. So Apex has its set of functionalities, which is there out of the box. But if you want some specific things, it means additional development, perhaps in some other technologies, in some other tools, and which can be then integrated in Apex. And we mostly advise against it because these solutions may be difficult to maintain and may be expensive, but they don't provide any additional value to clients. So we always try to find some middle ground. We ask when the expectation is high, we ask why do you think that you need this? Is it really essential? And perhaps give some alternatives which are more in line with Apex and which are available in Apex out of the box.
Okay, this is all from loser. I give word or microphone to winners.
Thank you for this introduction. Okay, hello, my name is Monika. I'm from Kozminski University, Poland. That was the short reference to the game
Yeah.
that was 2 days ago. Okay, my question is about your personal transitions. So you mentioned that you were a teacher, and then
Yeah.
something happened, and now you are the Apex developer. So could you please tell us more about this process? What is the most challenging moment in this journey?
Well, this is a bit of a, I don't know, it's not a complicated situation, but it has a couple of steps. So actually, I graduated in computer science in Varaždin, Faculty of Organization and Informatics. But such were the times when I graduated that not many companies were hiring new people, so junior developers weren't very well sought then. It was 2008 and it was the global crisis jobs, and such stance was taken by companies that they didn't employ new people, and schools were always employing new people, and they always need computer science teachers, because most of the people who are in computer science don't work in schools, they work in companies. So I had a chance to work in school, and it was a great experience. For a year and a half I worked as a middle school teacher, but all the time I was actually looking for a job which was more in line with the college that I finished. And Bilog gave me an opportunity to learn something new. I didn't even hear about Apex before that. Okay, I had a very broad knowledge of databases and computer system design from the college, so that part was already there. But this new technology in Oracle was something that I was just finding out. But the thing that helped me a lot is that the existing Apex developers are very eager to help, and they always want to show you what they have, to show you the cool new thing and how to achieve something. So the colleagues from the company where I worked were very helpful to help me learn this new stuff, and also the entire community online, the forums, the Twitter sphere, and everything related to Oracle Apex are very eager to help you and to show new things. So the process is, as you know, learning every day and learning constantly. So this is such a field where you never stop learning. But I don't think that transition was very hard, because it was the main goal that I had from the start. I just believe that the teaching job from before helped me a lot in my current job, because it's a part of my job now also, aside with development and consulting.
Okay, thank you for this answer. And one more question. Let's talk about non-IT professionals. So can you imagine that a mom after the maternity leave wants to reskill, wants to upskill, and enter a totally new world, a world of Apex development. So question. Just imagine that we have this mom. She has background in management, and the whole career before the maternity leave was in accounting, for example. How do you think, how fast this person can learn Apex to be able to be junior professional? How long it takes?
How long does it take? Well, it's not a simple answer, because to develop in Apex, it's not just to use the tool Apex. You also need to know something about the database and how the data with which you are working is stored. So I believe that the bigger challenge perhaps would be to get the knowledge of how to store data and the database design, and the basics you need to use an application. But when you come to the actual Apex point, I believe that no longer than 6 months would be needed to have some basic comprehension of how you can make something functional. And the reason for this is that very much of the resources about Apex is now available online, which wasn't before. So as Apex is growing, the community is growing, and all the information and the blog posts and how-to videos and troubleshooting and I don't know, actually there isn't anything you can do in Apex which you can't Google now and find an answer for it. So I believe that the actual Apex part, the tool, is the simpler part, but the more complicated part would be the theoretical knowledge of what it actually does under the hood with your data.
Okay, the last question, I promise. What is the starting point? So how can we start? What is your recommendation? If I want to learn Apex right now and I need to do it from scratch, what is the starting point? How can I start?
The starting point is what I recommend to anyone who has any interest in Oracle Apex is go to apex.oracle.com. There you can register for a free workspace. Perhaps many of you have already done it. And through that free workspace and your own Apex application, which Apex Builder, which is actually available anywhere where you have an internet connection, you can look through the sample data which is provided, and you can look through sample applications which are provided and finish some tutorials. So you can actually hit the ground running and start really fast with Apex with free resources which are available anytime that you need it. So online, apexoracle.com.
Wow, thank you for the presentation, all the answers, and good luck.
Thank you.
Any more question? Okay, everybody is shy. It's early in the morning for some of our participants. Daniel, thank you very much to share your thoughts. We are very happy that you are here with us. And in another occasion, I would like to invite you in Kran to go to the coffee and discuss off topic of the record.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for your attention, and I'm very happy to see so many people interested in Oracle Apex, and I wish you all the luck and success in your future work.
The same to you. Goodbye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.